Well, this has got to be the worst tire issue I have ever had in my life, and I know exactly what caused it. On my way down here, I hit something in the middle of the road, something that had fell off a car, didn't think anything of it. Well, look at that. God dang.
Holy shit! The car was even celebrating.
Good morning, turds. So it has been quite a while since we have done another video, but I have good excuses. I didn't have any cars. I didn't have any projects. Well, I did have projects. I'm so lying. Actually, I didn't have the red car, and that's because we were doing quite a bit of work over at EB Tech, the place where we get our dynos and get our fabrication and et cetera, right? But I got the car back. Now, why was she gone, may you ask? Well, you know, it turns out when you have to outrun police officers in a dangerous manner, there are chances you may roll. So, a giant thanks to the guys at EB Tech for knocking this thing out in like a week, man. Like, they're a busy group of guys, and for them to step away from everything that they were doing, making money, and knock this cage out for me in this time was amazing. And it is, well, if I be honest, it's kind of nicer than the race car's cage. Like, it doesn't have as many bars as the Blue Turd, so therefore it's not safer. But as far as material and welding and et cetera, this thing is way freaking nicer than the Blue Turd. So it only makes me excited to like rip the cage out of the Blue Turd and redo it. But so what we had done was we put a full main hoop, and then we also did a harness bar. We tied it all the way back here to the strut tower. Well, actually, I'll open the trunk and show you guys that in a minute. And then this was something that was a little bit different, but it was totally necessary. So the Blue Turd, if you guys don't know, that car is 2,390 pounds without its fat driver. And you know, for a 4-door Taurus with like a 112-inch wheelbase, that's a big car. It's not a light car, but it is light. Well, that's partly because this thing's made out of basically sheet metal, like thin sheet metal. The floor was so wobbly and flimsy that they added this bar to tie it back to here. That way we could stiffen this entire thing up just in case we roll this thing, you know, outrunning some people that may be chasing us. But let's go to the trunk. So in the trunk, we got a full welded in rear strut tower brace that also ties back to the cage. And you know, of course, I kept my speakers. You got streetcar stuff, you know, gotta listen to good music. And then, you know, back here we got 2 bottles of sauce. You know, might need 2 bottles where we're going. We only have like a couple of days to where we have to put this thing in a trailer and take it to our event, which I still can't tell you guys what the event is, but I promise you guys you will know eventually. But for now, we need to take this thing to go get an alignment because it's still whacked from when we put the coilovers on. It still drives pretty straight. I will say that that's kind of impressive, but it's whacked. So I have a alignment shop that I go to here locally called Fast Lane. They are an amazing group of people. I know the owner personally, and they specialize in race car alignment. So for you guys who have your lowered vehicles, your exotic cars, all your crazy stuff that, you know, Tires Plus at Firestone just says, we don't want you. Fast Lane Performance. You got one location in Woodstock, Georgia. You got one location in Smyrna, Georgia. And those guys are awesome. They will do anything. So let's get on the road. Oh, it feels so good to be back in this thing. Got our new roll cage. You know, it's really starting to look like a race car, but I swear it's not a race car. This is a street car. Like I said, this is the shop to bring your custom stuff. We got a drift missile on the alignment machine right now. Dude, check out how this alignment machine is. This is crazy. So like underneath here, they actually dug into the ground to where the alignment machine, when it comes all the way down, sits flush. So like, doesn't matter how low your car is, you can bring it here. All right, guys, she's all the way up on the alignment rack. I said I have not touched the alignment since we threw the coilovers on. So we're gonna roll this thing, get a base measurement, and start turning some wrenches, and we got our first measurements. No, out of the camera, okay. You know, all in all, that's not bad. It's not horrible. Dude, I literally like just took the coilover and just like threw them on. It had stock suspension on it. No wonder it was driving pretty well. So what we're gonna try to do is up here in the front, as far as camber, like we're sitting pretty even, like -1. So we're gonna try to push that out to about -3. Try to keep the caster as much as we can, but even, and then just kind of straighten out the toe and we'll be good to go. So we got some wrenches to turn.
Oh, he made them?
Yeah, so all of this was made by ASP Headers. And then this merge collector, I ended up having to hack up and make myself, and then I finished the rest of the exhaust. Unfortunately, it was MIG welded, but you know, hey, gotta do what I gotta do. Yeah, all this came out beautiful. And get this, it's a completely stock motor, stock 3.2 liter. From the factory, they're rated for 220 crank horsepower. Completely stock made 220 wheel horsepower. And then we put her on nitrous and it made 307 horsepower and then 327 foot-pounds on a 75 shot. It picked up like 120 foot-pounds on a 75 shot.
It should be fun to drive.
Yeah.
What tire are you running?
I think it's an RE101.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good tire. So we are all ready to freaking go, man. And like, look at it, like Stance Nation over here. All this negative camber. So look like we're wrapping it up. We got just about -3 on the front, -2 in the rear. Toe for the most part is perfect and even, and caster's looking good. So dude, Thanks, man. Hell yeah.
Absolutely, buddy.
Well, thank you, John, and the guys at Fast Lane. This thing's all dialed. So the next time we get to use this thing is gonna be taking some corners, and I freaking can't wait. Well, guys, it is a couple days since the first part of this video. I didn't really video much of what I have done, but I promise you it wasn't a whole lot. It's been rainy, nasty, and freaking cold here in Georgia, so it's absolutely miserable. What you guys did miss out on was I installed a nice carbon fiber plate right here, so that way we could mount our nitrous switch, because we did have it just all kind of rigged up and just laying here. And then this switch is something brand new, and that is going to be our nitrous bottle heater that I've already gotten mounted up back there. So that way when we are evading some police officers, you know, if they get a little too close, a little too friendly, you know, we'll get on the bald eagle switch, you know, put some distance in between us. So, well, so I just got done washing the car to get prepared to get loaded up in the race trailer, and I can't help it. I got to get pulled over, see if the nitrous bottle heater worked, and we got to do a little nitrous rip before we throw this thing in the trailer. All right, let's see what this bottle pressure's like. All right, we're a little cold. Bottle heater's definitely working, but we're like 600 PSI. I'm gonna use the torch, get this thing heated up. Bottle pressure's up to about 900. Let's give this thing a nitrous rip before we have to load it in the trailer. Let's go. All right, naturally aspirated pool 1. Nitrous. All right, let's give it a first gear nitrous pull. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh yeah, there's a big difference with that nitrous. All right, I think it's time to load it up. Put it in the trailer, let's send it. Pulling out the old race rig. Oh man, it's been so long. Time to get it loaded up, boys.
Obey traffic laws, be alert, and use voice commands while driving.
Well, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this one, and this is probably going to be the last video you guys will see the Red Turd in, at least for a while anyway. We may have an update video here in a couple weeks, something like that, but you know, sad to say this might be it for old girl. So guys, I want to go ahead and say thank you to everybody who has had something to do with this car. Because the fact of the matter is that all of the companies and all of the friends who come together to make this thing happen, you guys are lifesavers. I couldn't do it without any of you.
You know, if you guys remember on this build, we had Stefan from ASP Headers first. He came in, Vibrant sponsored all of the material, right? You know, Vibrant has been one of my long-term relationships that I've had with my race program for a long time. So I was really glad to bring them on board for this one too. Stefan again knocked out the ASP Headers. Jason flew in from Colorado to tune this thing, and we put nitrous on it. If you guys didn't watch that video, that was a blast. That was an absolute blast. EB Tech knocked out the roll cage that I just got done showing you in this same video in like a week's time, and it came out amazing, you know. And all the friends that had helped build this thing with me over the you know, course of the couple weeks. So it's been fun. But this is where we're gonna wrap this build off, and you know, there might be another video, I don't know, but we'll just say I can't talk about it anymore. So bye-bye Red Turd. Guys, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, show me some love, and on the next one, I don't know what we're doing, but tune in.